Good morning, good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel, Ek Kitab Se Ek Moti. Today I'm going to talk about a mantra that appears in the Langul Upanishad. That is, when you do the Sandhi, it will become Langul Upanishad. So the Langul Upanishad is an Upanishad dedicated to Lord Hanuman, and it is said about this mantra that I'm going to mention in a moment. It is said about this mantra that it can cure different types of fevers of different types. So it describes not just this ordinary fever, but many types of fever. Actually, a fever that can last for a month or even 6 months and so on. So it talks about maybe all the different types of fever that were known during the time this Upanishad was composed. Or recorded by the rishis. So I came to know of this mantra from the Upanishad when I was reading a book on Swami Akhandananda Saraswati. So he describes an event from his childhood. I mean, one of his experiences when he was a child. I think he used to go to his teacher. I mean, he lived in a village in Uttar Pradesh. So during those times, students used to visit the homes of the gurus. So he used to go to his, I think, Sanskrit guru to get some lessons on Sanskrit, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it for Jyotish, that is astrology? I don't remember now, but he used to visit the home of his teacher. And Swami Akhandananda Saraswati's father and Swami Akhandananda's guru were friends. So Swami Akhandananda used to get this fever often, when he was a child, and that used to kind of interfere with his everyday activities. So once he did not go to school, so his guru inquired, from his father as to why his son did not arrive at school that day. So Swami Akhandananda's father told his friend, that is the guru of Swami Akhandananda Saraswati, that his child had some kind of fever, and so he was unable to attend school. So now the word fever, right, I've often heard people say a fever, so I'm not sure using it without the article is okay, but anyhow, so the guru of Akhandananda Saraswati came to know of this fact that Swami Akhandananda Saraswati was unwell. I mean, when he was a kid, he was not a Swami, but anyhow, because he later became a Swami, I'm just referring to him that way. So Swami Akhandananda Saraswati, his guru met the child, and he asked him to come to school the next day. Actually, this fever used to kind of show its symptoms at a particular time during the day. So the guru asked him to come at that time, just before that, so that the guru could be with his disciple the moment that fever used to come or showed symptoms. So the next day, Akhandananda Saraswati walked to the home of his teacher, and the teacher asked the child to kind of lie down, maybe on a bed sheet or some kind of blanket. So the blanket was kind of spread on the ground, or kind of maybe how do we say that? Unfolded it, or maybe just rolled it. He rolled the blanket on the ground, on the floor, and asked Swami Akhandananda Saraswati to lie down on that blanket. And then the guru, with some holy ash, that is the vibhuti, with that holy ash, he wrote a mantra around him, kind of in a circle, so that the entire mantra was written in a circle using that holy ash, and it covered the child. Covered in a sense, it encircled the child, so that the child was lying on a blanket in between, and around the child, the guru wrote the mantra with that holy ash. And that mantra is this mantra that I'm going to talk about. And Swami Akhandananda Saraswati says that then the time of the sickness was drawing near, And so Swami Akhandananda Saraswati thought that now it was time for him to get the fever again. But because of the power of the mantra, he didn't get that fever on that day and during that specific time period when that fever used to appear. So the mantra kind of warded off the fever, or kind of kept it at bay. And after that, Swami Akhandananda Saraswati never got that fever again. Later on in life, he had some symptoms of it for a short while, but that was just for a short duration. So what Swami Akhandananda Saraswati was trying to say through this reminiscence, or through this recalling of his story, or through this telling of this story, is that this mantra had the power to cure diseases. So that is the basis of this video. Now, I have tried experimenting with this when my son was unwell, so I used to ask him to recite this, but I didn't follow that same way of writing this mantra with a holy ash around my son. But anyhow, he used to recite that, and I felt that it has this power to ward off fever and cure us of diseases. So it's a matter of faith. I'm not promoting unscientific thinking, because I believe faith has its place in our life, and faith can cure diseases. That's my personal view, and I also experienced the power of the holy name of God in my own life, and it has cured me of some problems. For example, headache. Tablet is the kind of quick cure, or it's a quick fix solution. But I'm sorry, apologies, I had to pause the video for a moment. So the idea is that these holy mantras can work if we have faith, and if we believe in the power of God's name. And I believe that's why Gandhiji was against all these big hospitals and all these complicated surgeries and visiting the doctors often, because he used to think that these things weaken our willpower, and also don't really attack the root of the problem. They don't try to eradicate the problem. Eradicate, in a sense, root out the problem. They just work on the symptoms, because the problem usually, the reason why we have these sicknesses and fevers most of the times is because of our bad choices of diet and even our habit of worrying and hatred, and all these negativities that we have in our mind show in all these symptoms of disease. Not all things are because of that, but many of the diseases are because of all these wrong attitudes and wrong food habits. So these are under our control. So if we go to the doctor to cure us of these diseases, then we are kind of abdicating our responsibility, or dodging our responsibility of maintaining a good lifestyle. So anyhow, that was about why it's important to take responsibility for our sicknesses. So now let me talk about this mantra. So I'll just mention it, and I'll try to mention it in the description box if it's possible to copy this text. So this is the mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Chanda Pratapa Hanumate Mahaviraya Sarva Dukkha Vinashanaya Graha Mandala Bhuta Mandala Preta Pishacha Mandala Sarvochatanaya Ati Bhayankarajwara Maheshwarajwara Vishnujwara Brahmajwara Vetala Brahma Rakshasajwara Pittajwara Shleshma Sannipatikajwara Vishamajwara Sheetajwara Ekahikajwara Dvyahikajwara Dvyahikajwara Trayhikajwara Chaturthikajwara Ardhamasikajwara Masikajwara Shanmasikajwara Sansarikajwara Astyantargatajwara Mahapasmara Shamikapasmarancha Bhedaya Khadaya Om Ram Reem Room Hum Phat Ghe Swaha. Now in the printing I'm a bit doubtful careful about Asthyantaragantajvara or Asthyantaragatajvara. I'll just check this because I don't want to give you the wrong pronunciation. Let me see if I can get that. Check. I think the text is available online. Yeah. So I just want to check the pronunciation for this. Is it Asthyantaragatachvara or Asthyantaragantajvara? Let me pause the video for a moment. Okay, I checked the pronunciation, so it's Asthyantaragatachvara. So I'll read it again. Om Namo Bhagavate Chanda Pratapa Hanumate Mahaviraya Sarva Dukkha Vinashanaya Grah Mandala Bhuta Mandala Preta Pishacha Mandalas. Let me read it again. Om Namo Bhagavate Chanda Pratapa Hanumate Mahaviraya Sarva Dukkha Vinashanaya Grah Mandala Bhuta Mandala Preta Pishacha Mandala Sarvochatanaya Atibhayankarajvara Maheshwarajvara Vishnujvara Brahmajvara Vetala Brahmarakshasajvara Pittajvara Shleshmasannipatikajvara Vishamajvara Shitajvara Ekahikajvara Dvyahikajvara Treyhikajvara Chaturthikajvara Ardhamasikajvara Masikajvara Shanmasikajvara Sansarikajvara Asthyantaragatachvara Mahapasmara Shramikapasmaransha Bhedaya Bhedaya Khadaya Khadaya Om Hram Hrim Room Hum Phat Ghe Ghe Swaha. So this is a mantra that cured the sickness or that fever that used to kind of attack Swami Akhandanand Saraswati often. So you to try it, I mean, if it works, because as I said, these are matters of faith, and if they work for one person, they should work for others as well. And if it is if it's true that this mantra has power, it will work in your life, provided you have the faith. And the other thing is, we need to experiment and see before accepting or not accepting anything. We should experiment and see whether these mantras work in our lives or not. And then if they work, you can definitely make them a part of your routine, or maybe when sicknesses or diseases strike you, you can take refuge in these mantras. So with that, I think let me close the video, but let me see if I can just recapitulate. So mantras have this power to cure us of our sicknesses and diseases and fevers if we have the faith, and if we believe in the mantra, and we also see the effect of them in our lives through experiment and verification. So unless we have verified these things, we can't really reject them without giving them a chance. So that's why Gandhiji used to have such a belief in Ram Nam, because he experimented with Ram Nam, and it was his key to all kinds of key to the it was the solution to all kinds of problems that he used to face, mental, physical, and spiritual. Thanks for watching this video.